Now I'm ready for the party. Time for a dope selfie. Great Scott! There's a spot on my shirt! Dope. 45 minutes later. Heavens, this spot refuses to go. I think it's time for more drastic action. This should work on that stain. What? Not even lye can remove this stain? What am I supposed to do? Melanoma can have many different appearances. It can appear as a mole, it can look like a skin discoloration, it can manifest as skin atrophy, or it can manifest as a tumor. Melanoma is deadly because it metastasizes early on in its development. Once metastasis occurs, it becomes difficult to search and destroy the cancerous cells, as they will eventually outgrow and destroy the normal cells of the body. Homeostatic balance is disrupted because the cancer cells take away all the nutrients from the normal cells for their own growth, and thus cause the health of the surrounding non-cancerous tissue to decay by either constricting a vital structure such as the liver or the lungs, or by destroying them by outcompeting them for nutrients. The symptoms of melanoma can be distinguished by the mnemonic A, B, C, D, E, where A stands for asymmetry of the mole, B stands for irregular borders, C is a discoloration, usually a reddish or brown discoloration, D stands for the diameter, usually more than 1/4 of an inch, and E means the evolution over time, in shape, in its size, and also in its color. The structure of the skin allows it to perform vital functions such as protection, temperature regulation, sensory perception, etc. The epidermis prevents fluid loss and resists environmental damage, while the dermis provides mechanical strength. Melanoma affects the functionality of skin by causing skin break. Melanocytes are found in the epidermis and dermis. When melanoma develops in a person, it spreads downwards to the papillary dermis. In this part of development is when most of the loss of sensory perception happens. Then, as it progresses to stage 3, the cancerous cells reach the papillary reticular dermis interface, and it is from here that we can begin to see the loss of mechanical structural integrity, because all the loose connective tissue, which is interwoven between the reticular and papillary dermis, is now being affected by the cancerous cells. As it spreads downwards into stage 4 is when the melanoma starts becoming even more fatal and has the capacity to metastasize. This is where the most loss of structural integrity in the dermis is present, and it is from here that we can see the loss of protection, and all the other functions provided by the epidermis also start to be affected. Then, as it progresses towards stage 5, it reaches the subcutaneous layer, from where it can metastasize into other organs and cause a potential death of a person. It affects accessory structures like hair and nails in the following ways. Hair loss is seen, and there's nail discoloration. So, histologically speaking, this is what melanoma looks like. Melanocytes congregate in large groups called nests, and it's from these nests where the cancerous cells grow. Now, all of these cells are malignant melanocytes spreading downwards into the papillary dermis over here and the reticular dermis over here. The red you see over here is basically the skin discoloration that is phenotypically exhibited. This is another slide showing another form of melanoma. All of these over here are malignant melanocytes, which are also at the same time secreting a lot of melanin as well. And these are present in a huge abundance in this area over here. Also, over here is something quite interesting. This area is basically the growth of a tumor. Usually melanoma progresses downwards, but in this case it is causing the outward growth of a tumor, so it's not only growing downwards, but it's growing upwards.